have entered a new era. Episode 5, Dropping Gems. A new era of life. I genuinely feel like I have done a pretty good job of giving you guys a accurate representation of who I am as a person and how I feel, my fundamentals, principles, things that are important to me. You know, if you don't know, I am very into politics. I do think what's going on in the world is extremely important. I care about people who are in underfunded countries. I care about people who are here in America and can't afford anything. I care about that. I'm very passionate about my community and people as a whole. And those things are just important. I genuinely fell in love with my last video. I think that it was so eye-opening, and I think it was nice to see myself from a different perspective. I enjoyed getting, a little dolled up, so I decided to do it again today, and I'm really happy I did. Really, really happy I did. I know I don't sound enthusiastic, but what I've learned about my cadence and my tone is that that's one thing I cannot fake. I cannot fake, and I don't fake a lot of stuff, but I cannot fake like I'm having a good time if I'm not having a good time. That's just what it is. And I'm having a great time, being in my room. I'm enjoying learning things. I'm enjoying expressing my creativity in a way that feels so authentic to me. However, there's like this feeling of just like it just feels empty a little bit. Like, and the last thing I would want to do is to like keep trying to force myself to be someone that I'm not. And with that being said, let's get into the topics for today's video. It's kind of hard when you have what feels like no support. A lot of people love to cheer you on, and that's fine. It's not anyone's job to help me get to where I want to go. Wherever I'm meant to end up, God is going to guide me there. It's kind of sad because I expect more from some people, and that's something that has always been placed on me. I've always been the person that people expected a lot from, and I think it really is another thing that could have been hindering to my development, because when people expect a lot from you really young, or when people expect a lot from you at any stage of life, when you are just simply, you just do not know what you're doing, the only thing you can do is fake it. And the thing is, when you fake it, you could be wrong. There's no experience in it. When I tell like the lessons I've learned, and when I talk about myself highly, when I discuss things that probably, should be kept, to myself, I think people take that as, and I wouldn't know because no one says anything. Like I would hope that if you were to watch these videos, that you would honestly leave knowing more than what you came with. And I think that's important. And I would think it was important where if you did feel some type of way about these videos, that you would comment, because I just don't know. I don't know. And I know it's not important how other people view me, and I do not care. But I do care, because this is something I care about. You know what I mean? And if I'm not gonna cry. I'm genuinely getting the ick. Having too many secrets makes you a victim to shame. When you have a lot of things that have happened to you that people have, you know, inadvertently told you not to tell anyone about, or even full flat out told you not to tell anyone about, it gets to a point where it's like, well, then what's the point of me saying anything at all? You start to bottle up the things that happen to you. whether that be good or bad. I think it got to a point for me personally where I didn't want anyone to know anything about my life, so I just let my personality do the talking, which is why my personality is what it is. I've always had people who genuinely were so obsessed with the idea of knowing everything about my life, and that is really scary. It's scary to have somebody want to know everything about my life, because if you even were to get a glimpse of why I am the way I am, who's to say that you would stay? I've had so many people, and I don't want to say so many because it genuinely is not so many, but I've had people before that I have told about what happened to me, and they left. And who's to say that they left because I told them those things? I am not a perfect person. I make mistakes. But to have someone who listened to your problems just leave you, it definitely leaves a mark on you. Eventually you start to get used to the idea that you could tell somebody everything about you. They could understand why you are the way you are and simply still not care. And up until recently, I have never had anyone in my life that genuinely cared for the fuck of it. Like, not because we're related, not because they have to, not because we're friends, not because of anything like that, strictly because of the fact that they just want to understand. And I feel like I'm meeting a lot of people lately who genuinely have that mindset, and I just think that's a beautiful thing. It makes me comfortable to move in loudness. I don't want to move in silence anymore. Like, I feel like 2026 is for the people who want to be bold about what they got going on. If you're going to do something, if you have goals in your life, do not let people make you feel small. That's what people want. They want you to stay small. They want you to think that they're not watching you. They want you to think that they don't care what you're doing. They don't see the hustle. They don't see the grind. That's okay. Watch me work. When you're really putting in work, nobody's talking, they're watching, and that's fine. But it does get to a point where you need that type of encouragement to let you know, like, yeah, you're really that, trust. And if you need someone to be that encouragement for you, I'll be that. You're doing the damn thing. Don't let lack of encouragement be the reason why you even think about giving up. That should be the last reason. Give up because you want to go fucking shake that ass on a yacht. Don't give up because you want to, fuck no, fuck these people. They don't even know what they want. Like, they confused. They as confused as everybody else. The only thing they know is that they want to stay in a huddle and be exactly like each other. The whole world has turned into a clique. Clicky. Very, like, I like to talk to my players like they can hear me. Dropping gems, because ooh, that's the title of today's episode. That's what it was. It genuinely is. I'm dropping gems in this bitch. But yeah, I like to talk to the people I'm dropping gems to like I'm a coach, because I feel like that's the only way you get it, engraved in your mind. A lot of people think, those who can't do teach. Or, just I know ball. And I'm just gonna leave it there. I know ball. Like, I really do. Um I know ball. New things are going to be imperative for 2026. You are going to have new experiences, you are going to meet new people, you're going to try new things, you are going to see new places. It is important that you stay focused on you. The commitment that I made to myself is that I was going to try to post every day for a month. I did not want to share this goal because I don't want anyone to hold me accountable. And I'm going to get a little deep for a second. I had a problem where I just was addicted to the high. I did, and that's why I talk about how I had times where I just genuinely regret, not even regret, because I learned from it, but I have times in my life where I genuinely am so, I want to say regret and disappointed, but honestly it all brought me to this point. But I've had moments in my life where I was addicted to the high. I didn't like feeling like I could hear my own thoughts because I was scared of what they were going to say. That's why I know when people are running from something. And I would hate if people are using my page for that. I don't want anyone to come here because they can't accept something within themselves. And I know it sucks that you went through whatever you went through. And I hope you're hearing me because I genuinely do feel for you. Even if I've never been in your situation, I would never, even if I was in your situation, I would never try to pretend like I know how you feel because I don't. But what I'm trying to let you know is that the way you feel is completely valid, but you can't just try to turn your mind off and ignore that shit. The only way you get over it, and it's not even like you're gonna get over it. I saw this quote and it was so beautiful. It was like, when people die, you never get over the death. That death stays with you forever. All you do is learn how to carry that weight. And I've been using that quote for everything because I think it's so important for people to know emotions are not things that just strong, deep, from the core emotions are not things that just come and go. It's important that you acknowledge the feelings that you have inside of you because no one else is going to do it. If you don't make no noise, that's it. You fade away. It's important that you let go of needing to know where you're going. I have a very bad habit of thinking that if I don't know exactly what's going to happen, then I'm going to fail. I grew up in a state of mind where I genuinely feel like was so fast. Like I came out the womb and everything just zoomed. I had a lot of motion. Like, I'm serious. And when I say motion in this case, I'm genuinely talking about motion. Motion, like moving. I've been a lot of places. I've lived with a lot of people. I've seen a lot of things, and I think from all of that, I've developed a character that I just feel is easier to digest. And I feel like because of that, I was on a search to figure out who I was. And in that search, I realized that I'm never gonna have a clear defined, assumption, or, well, not an assumption because I could have an assumption, but I'm never gonna have a clear way to know what my character is because every time people get really close to me, we end up falling apart. Whether that be because I cut them off, because when I cut a friend off, I genuinely feel like, and not just friends, people general. Like, I'm so serious when I say 2025 has been my year that I have let the most shit slide. I have never had a time in my life where I let anybody except for family come back from the cross. If you do me dirty, I cut you off and I never speak to you again. I don't like to do the back and forth shit. The only time it's acceptable is when I genuinely feel like I have wronged you because I never want someone to think that I'm not apologetic for my actions. The problem is, for some people an apology is not enough. I'm lucky enough to have had people in my life who have genuinely either accepted my apology or didn't, and I was able to move on from those things. It's important that you have a character inside yourself, character period, that is so strong that you just know that regardless of what happens, the mistakes you make, the any of that, it doesn't define who you are. Because a lot of people want you to think that your mistakes define you, and that's another way of making you feel small. Your mistakes are not who you are, they're simply what happened. And that's just, it's data. Like, it's important that you keep track of this. Like, okay, but I feel like even I can't give a true statement on this because I know, I don't know. Big Sean, Janae, Aiko. I know. That was fucking Drake. That was fucking Drake. I was thinking about, I know you've been going through some things. Gotta get away. Baby, let me be your vacation. The Fool's Journey. I talked about the Fool's Journey tarot card on my spam page because I just thought it was a little tidbit that I just felt, called to share. It is genuinely in your best interest to try to figure out what you like. That should be your goal in life. And I hope that this doesn't sound like I'm saying you shouldn't care about anybody because that would be projection, and that's not what I mean. I think you should find out for you what fills your soul. I figured out what I was destined to do when I was a little girl. I'm talking, I genuinely think 5 through 7, the oldest. Like, cause I really want to say 3. I genuinely want to say I've known what I wanted to do since I was 3. I apparently stopped pissing in the bed when I was 1, so I'm really that bitch. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I brag on everything about me because who else is gonna do it? Like, who else is gonna do it? I have to. Well, okay. I have people who brag on me, but still, it's okay to pop a little shit. Pop it, pop it, pop it. It's good for the soul. It reminds you, like, hey, I'm that bitch. I'm not a loser or a peon. It's important. But yeah, the fool's journey. I've been the victim, the villain, the civilian, the observer. I've been all of it. I just feel like it's important for people to start to try new things, talk to new people, experience new rooms, stop being the same person in every room. And I'm not saying have mixed personalities or some shit. I'm saying go into the room. If you're a teacher in one room, be a student in the next. If you are a whiz and you know all of everything about one subject, okay, go in that room and know everything. But if you don't, go into another room open and ready to learn. It's important that people get used to the idea of experiencing. 2026 is going to be a year of new everything, new experiences, new people, like I said, new adventures, new places. It's important that people get used to the idea of letting new things come in, because sometimes you can have a problem where you are too busy trying to grip on the past that everything your everything just falls apart. If you're new, if what's meant for you, and I, like I said on King Von, I genuinely believe that God will hawk you down to make you, step into your power, step into your lane. But I've realized that you got to do something. Don't become attached to the physical. Allow yourself to genuinely understand that this is a mental battle. These people are not real. Everything is about soul. It's about character. It's about morals. It's about principles. And the thing is, it's also about acceptance. Radical self-acceptance. Accepting yourself for your faults, your L's, your wins. All of that stuff goes into who you are, your character, how you treat people, how you live your life. All of that is important because I feel like a lot of the times people like to only rack up their mistakes in their mind. And that's why your mind is such a scary place. You need to forgive yourself. If you've done something wrong, forgive yourself. If you don't like the way you're feeling, forgive yourself. If you're going through something and you see no way out, live in that. Live in that for a moment, because eventually a key will become available to you. I don't want anyone to sit in their depression. I don't want anyone to just be depressed. I think especially when you're functioning and you're depressed, I think that is just terrible. I don't like it when people are like that. That's what I call a zombie. I think people just need to get more comfortable with the idea of their results not coming as fast as they wanted them to. Not because you're not ready, not because of anything like that, simply because of the fact that it's just like you need to sit in that, understand that feeling. If you watch my last the video I made 2 days ago, Father Stretch My Hands, I feel like your bandwidth is important. You need to be able to handle a lot if you want a lot. If you have big dreams, you have to be able to hold a lot. It's going to take a lot. It's not easy. A lot of people think stuff is easy. It's not. It's not. It's not. You could pray for ease as well, but if you pray for an easy life, I don't see that being good. I don't see anything easy being, I don't know. A lot of people raise victims. People are addicted to the underdog story. And there's nothing wrong with saying that you want someone who is underappreciated to finally get the appreciation they deserve. That's 100% cool. But I think there's a power in knowing who you are and standing firm on that and not allowing what other people say to get to you. Because I think at a certain point, it's like when you are being told about yourself, quote unquote, so many times, you start to look and think and be like, wow, I wonder if, there's a little bit of projection in there, like a little bit. And I really wish you guys would go back and watch that video. I think there's a little bit of projection in there. People are so afraid to admit that they do not feel happy about themselves, that they are on a constant run of trying to make other people feel that way about themselves. If you get what I mean, if you catch my drift, if you could follow me, it's just like that. I saw a TikTok. It said, if you try something and you're not good at it, quit. I will personally say, if you try something, fail at it, try something, fail at it, and you genuinely just see no want to keep going, then quit. Do not, do not, like, just simply do not. Do not stay somewhere longer than you have to. I think a lot of people get too comfortable. Do not get too comfortable. You don't get what you want holding on to the other thing. If you have a goal and you know for a fact that God has been calling you to stop doing something and you just cannot stop doing something, then you're not ready. You're not ready. Here's what I love about the Hunger Games. Katniss went in and volunteered because she didn't want her little sister to go into the Hunger Games. When she went into the Hunger Games, she trained and practiced. She knew she was good with a bow and arrow, but she didn't know that she would be able to win against these people who have been training for this with more materials, better everything. And yet she still won. She still won. And I think the worst part about it is that they tried to take everything from her. She was their first target. Everybody just immediately turned and went on her. And I think that's important to mention, not to compare myself to Katniss in any way, shape, or form, because I already know it's gonna be. She thinks she Katniss. She thinks she's Katniss. No, she's not Katniss. I know Mean Girls. I think people forget. I know for a fact, and I have always known, Mean Girls grow up too. Mean Girls grow up too. And the thing is, I think people forget that just because people like to maintain their position, and that's why you can never truly knock me off whatever high horse I'm on, because you have always been the same person in every room you walk into. Always. You always been that person. And that's okay if that's who you are, but what I like the opportunity to learn from every room I step into. And if I could spread some knowledge while I'm there, trust I will do that. But I much more appreciate to have people genuinely tell me like, "Hey, this is what it is, and I hope this can help you," because a lot of the times you may not think you need that advice, but when you reflect on it later, when you ponder on that thought, it's like, damn, Nashari just really dropped a gem. That's what it is. Like, and a lot of people need to get used to the idea of people being multidimensional, because you are you you're multidimensional. You're not just one thing. You're not whatever you think you are, whatever you think you do, whatever. That's not who you are. That's just what you do. It, like, people are so desperate to get what they want, they refuse to look within. I took 2-3 years of nothing but self-reflection. The only way you can do that is if you genuinely self-reflect. You have to look within. After everybody casts you out, and yes, I'm going to say cast you out because I genuinely feel like that's how it was. I'll be making a video with my best friend soon, and we will be talking about that. I'm sorry, but he gonna have to give a little bit of that because I want that lore on my page before the new year. But yes, you have never been cast out. You have to be cast out multiple times in order to finally say, okay, well, how many more times do I need to get cast out before I realize that I am enough support? I'm all I need. It doesn't matter where I go, I'm always going to have me. First off, I want to start off by thanking me. I want to start off by thanking me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I think it's important that you repeat those type of affirmations to yourself, because it's very easy to succumb to your thoughts. Your thoughts are nothing more than that, thoughts. I do pose the question, is destiny swapping real or not? In my humble opinion, I think destiny swapping is real. I think it is very possible for someone to want your life and do everything in their power to get it. I think it is very possible for someone to watch how you move and slowly but surely start to steal your life. It has happened to me multiple times. I have watched people actively try to literally steal my life before my eyes, and it got to the point where I got so tired of it, I didn't want to be anything. I didn't want to be inspirational. And the crazy thing about it is that when you truly have a gift for something, when you have a knack for something, that's just what you do. That's what you do. It don't matter what you try to do. It don't matter if you try to run away from it and be something else and do something else, or try to be quiet about it. People are going to smell it on you. They're going to see it on you. When you have that it factor, yes, when you have that it factor, it just shows on you. You glow different. Like it's in the way you talk, the way you walk, because people think it's just physical. It's a mental thing. It's you would have to know. You would have to know. And I hate to use this because I actually don't know why I hate to use, but tapped in. You got to be tapped in. My dad told me when I feel like I first had my because I've had multiple times where, like, I talk about the death and rebirth process often. But when I was telling my dad about my spiritual, like, awakening, if you believe in that, if you don't believe in it, whoop-de-doo. But I told my dad about it, and he said to me, he said, yeah, it's just, yeah, your mind just expands. And I genuinely, and I told him, and he agreed. We both said it. I cannot be with somebody who is not tapped in. If you are not able to see the world for more than just the physical, for more than just what's here, I can't do anything with you, because clearly you are just not in tune enough with yourself. Because when you journey within, when you take that trip of actually looking within yourself, you start to realize that you are nothing but the space you take up. You go within yourself, and it just is like your soul just shines. When people actually look within themselves, their soul shines different. It's a different type of glow. It's not a glow up, it's a god up. Like, and I genuinely want this point to be put across. Allowing others' opinions to make you fade into the background is the root of your problems. If you are going to get mad every single time somebody does something to you, that's fine, but you better not quit. You finna be pissed off because it is okay, but you better not quit though. You just better not quit. Like, I get it. It sucks. It's hard. It's tough. You crying. You don't see no way out. I've been there. Like, I've had moments in my life that you couldn't pay me to relive them, because they relive in my mind all the time. But it's like when I see them, all I feel is the emotion from them. I've had a lot of eye-opening moments where I genuinely have felt like God has genuinely broken me down to nothing, just to build me up again even bigger. Every time, every time. And I get really scared about that, because I'm like, what if he doesn't do it this time? What if this time is the last time? What if and it's never he never leaves me, ever, ever. And I'm not used to that feeling. And I think that's why I keep talking about 2026, because 2026 is going to be a year where you genuinely have to rely on whatever you believe in. It's going to take you having that strength to say, this is a calling. I'm calling. If you've ever watched Pocahontas, please, I know Pocahontas is a famous movie, obviously. But if you've ever watched Pocahontas, then you understand you have to go with the wind. Do not allow yourself to be stuck thinking that that's where you're supposed to live. Oh my God, I hate that I sound so sad. Because I would hate if you guys are watching this and, catching bad vibes. But I want you guys to genuinely understand that this is not going to be a page where I'm going to just get on here and smile every day. I have a very deep soul. I have a lot of soul. And I've been told from a young age I was very wise. I've always been somebody who has genuinely always learned a lesson. I've always learned a lesson. I learn a lot. And because of that, I want nothing more than to share the lessons I've learned with other people so that way there can be some type of balance. I feel like there's no way that I was meant to learn all these things, and I'm going to continue learning things, but I don't think that there's no way that I could learn something just for me to not share it with the world. I want everyone to know what I've learned, and I don't think that's me not keeping a secret. I think that's me being honest. A lot of people confuse honesty is being authentic. Honesty is not just saying how you feel. Honesty is saying how you feel and what made you feel like that. Focus when figuring out who you are before you try to determine what you want. The search for purpose is often very tough for most people. I knew my destiny before I knew my purpose. When I wrote this with the intention in mind of expanding a thought I saw on Twitter. I was like, I want to do my best to describe how this made me feel. The search for people starts outside. When you're a baby, you wake up, you reach for your mother. You do everything in your power to get a good understanding of the world you're in. You learn to walk, you learn to crawl, you learn to read, whatever. I don't care. I don't know the fucking evolution of childhood, okay? I don't have no kids. Look at this. Look at this fucking figure. I don't have no fucking kids. You twerking with no music though? Yes, I'm twerking with no music. Purpose is often a very tricky subject for people because a lot of people confuse purpose with, what they do. And that's not what purpose is. Purpose is what gets you out of bed in the morning. Happily. Purpose is, and I don't even want to say happily. There's days you're not gonna wake up happy. That's just law. That's universal law. But purpose is something that should fulfill you. It should fulfill you to the point where it's like, okay, well, even if I don't wake up happy, I know that I'm going to be happy because of da da da. That you need to have a purpose, and your purpose has to be something that is true to you, and it can't be outside of you. Your purpose has to be within you. Well, I don't know. Like I said, a lot of people are taking, and I don't even know because y'all don't fucking comment. I just want to say, I would hope people are not interpreting this as a way of me thinking I know the locks, the keys to life. I know the keys to my life. I know the locks to my life. If this helps you out, which I hope it does, congrats, but it's not about that. It's really not. It's about sharing what I've learned so that way others can learn from my learning in a way, or my lessons, turning L's into lessons. That's important. Some people are broke in spirit, some people are broke in character, but because they have money, they do not see the issue. A lot of people are so focused on what other people have physically that they don't care about what people have mentally or what they have inside of them. And I think one thing I've always prided myself on being is consciously, I'm not a person who genuinely wants someone for anything they could offer me, whether that be strictly physical or, strictly mental or anything. Just, I don't like people for any one specific reason. If I like something or someone, it's because I like them in entirety. And I think that's important. I think it's important to realize when you like someone or something. I'm gonna need y'all to stay on my business. I knew my destiny before I knew my purpose. I think I said that already, but I just want to repeat that I've always known exactly what is destined for me, but I've never had a purpose. And I grew up in a Christian household. I did praise dance, I was in a girls group, and we did sing gospel songs. I went to church every Sunday growing up until about the age of like around 13. I have made, you know, I've preached to my family before. I do a lot of stuff that involves God. I genuinely do love God. I think that He has a plan for me. I think that I just get so caught up in the physical at times. And that's why I just genuinely need to take a break. Like, these videos are still going to be made, but they're going to be made from my comfort zone. I'm not going to force myself to start doing content that brings in the new yet, because I genuinely do feel like energetically we are in the new year. I just think that it's important that some of that energy gets reserved, because it's like, you ever played Mario Kart and you start up the car before the start thing, so like your car kind of like scuffs and it doesn't go. I don't understand car words, but when that happens, I think a lot of people like to just, I don't know, just don't try to put too much on yourself too fast. Rest. The amount of anxiety that lives in your body after you go through something where people shame you is insane. Like, in fucking sane. When you have people bully you, shame you, embarrass you, belittle you, talk down to you, any of those things, when you have people who are constantly doing that to you, and you know that it's just projection, you know that it's just because they feel this way about themselves, it doesn't matter at some points how many times you tell yourself, hey, it's okay, it's okay, because there's going to be points where it's like you genuinely look and you're like, damn, maybe you get what I mean. And I don't want to say these negative affirmations, because I just feel like it's not beneficial, it's not good. But like I said, I'm making these videos because I don't want people to escape. So I feel like it would be wrong if I did myself. And I know that you have to say stuff out loud in order to release it, but I don't think I'm ready for that yet. And I think I'm honest enough to admit that I don't want you guys to know about my deepest, darkest secrets, or my past, or all the things that people have said to me. I don't think that's important. I want you to know that I have a lot of knowledge, I have a lot of lessons, and if I could give a story when it's ready, or when I'm ready to talk about it, and that helps you out in the future, then I would love to do that. But at this point, I genuinely think it's time for me to start just giving out lessons without giving too much of myself, because I feel like I've already done that. I've already given out a lot of myself and gotten nothing but shame and embarrassment and hurt in return. And I think it's very sad, because at a certain point you start to think that the goodness that you've done is going to come back to you. And I hate saying that, because it makes it seem like I'm doing the good things because I want good things to happen to me. But maybe that is why, you know? At a certain point, it's like, damn, can I stop taking L's? I want to make a W. Any advice that is not coming from a call within, ignore it. And I don't want to say simply ignore it. I want you to genuinely listen to it and rearrange the words in whichever way you see fit. There are so many quotes I say on a daily basis that directly have nothing to do with me, but I say them because they genuinely just make me feel like, damn, in this way, this aspect of my life, this is perfect. If you hear some advice and it just doesn't, sit right with your situation, keep it. Keep it in the closet. Wait on it to work out, but if it doesn't, then leave it. Some advice is not advice. It's simply distractions. Stay away from distractions. I want to leave or end off with this note. If you have something going on in your life that you just feel like you cannot overcome and there's no way out, I may be saying this in a monotone voice and I look sad. I'm wearing all black and, I look pretty emo, but I have never been at a moment in my life where I looked how I felt ever until some points. Okay, let me take that back. I've had moments where I genuinely do look like how I feel, but those moments are sporadic. What I'm trying to say, because that's not even important, what I'm trying to say is that if you are going through something and you have no idea how you're going to overcome it, fight back. Like, that's all I can tell you. As somebody who has suffered from, that, I hate even saying that because it's a stigma around it. Like, but as someone who suffered from depression and it comes in waves and it comes at the most awful of times, I think that the best thing I've learned is that you have to genuinely look at that and be like, okay, what can I make of this? If you do not get up and try to push past that, you're not going to get over it. You can't outrun depression. As much as I love to say, if you don't stop moving, it won't catch up to you. What I genuinely mean by that is you will run yourself all the way into a circle because eventually you're going to have to face that stuff. There's nothing you can do but face it. The only way you can truly get over something is when you have a deep understanding of it. And I think that's important to know. Next video, I genuinely want to get into how something fun. I want to talk about how I don't even know if this will be fun. It will be fun for me. I want to talk about the way that dating is. Like, dating is so fucking weird now. Like, you're not talking to me. We're not talking. On God, you're my boyfriend. Like, woo, that shit felt like a whip it. Okay. I got a man, if I don't like who asking, I don't stand outside because I'm too outstanding. Because the girls in the hood are always hard. Ever since 16, I've been having a job, knowing nothing in life, but I gotta get rich. You could check the throwback pics, I've been that bitch. I'm a hot girl, I do hot shit. Spend this income on my outfit. I don't text quick, because I ain't thirsty. These bitches mad, they wanna hurt me. And if I have ever made you feel bad about yourself in any type of way, I genuinely want to say to you, if you did something, and this is not for the bitches who did something to me first and I retaliated on your ass. If I did something to you and you did something to me first, that's what the fuck you get. But if you genuinely were nothing but somebody who just happened to be around when I was at very, very low moments in my life, because my life started off hard. That's why I just always talk about it, because it's important for people to know that I know ball. Like, I know hard times. I just want to say everybody does. Everybody has gone through something. And if I have ever made you feel like you are insignificant, if I've ever made you feel small, if I have ever made you feel, well, those things, I'm not going to lie, those can come from, projection. But if I intentionally made you feel that way, if I genuinely have hurt your feelings, I want to say deeply from the bottom of my heart, I'm very, very sorry. And I want nothing but for you to truly understand that I am not the same person that I was. I've gone through so many phases of my life where I have genuinely went from being the person who was either the victim in the situation to being the villain of the situation to observing the situation from another point of view. And I don't want there to be this idea that I'm trying to portray that I'm perfect. I would try to be very honest about the fact that a lot of the things that I talk about not only have happened to me and I learned from them, but I've done them and learned from that. It takes a very strong person to admit when they're wrong. The thing is, if you do not admit that you're wrong, then you're more wrong than when you started. And I think that's a sad case. That's a sad case. Do not ever be one of those people who have wronged somebody and you just genuinely think it's okay energetically. Like, even on a soul level, you think what you did is okay. I'm not talking about going to them and apologizing. If you don't want to do that, fine. But I'm talking about genuinely knowing that you wronged someone and not even caring about it, not thinking about it, not worrying about how that person feels. I have no one in mind, but I know for a fact that during my times where I was in a dark place, and that's not an excuse, that during my times where I wasn't, like I said, I'm very Princess in the Pea. It is times where I sometimes feel like because I have gone through so much, I deserve to treat people however I want to. That's not true. That's not true. And I want people to know that I am very, very sorry for that.
But yeah, my dad got me Yeezy slides. And they're cute. Say, I'm not a perfect person. I genuinely, and do not judge me for saying this, I genuinely really appreciate Kanye West's mindset. Like, when you have people who are seeing extreme versions of you, they are either gonna have one distinct opinion on you or the other. They don't see you as a multifaceted human being. They see you as that one emotion that you express. And I just feel like that's something that I can relate to. I know he be saying some crazy shit, but y'all would hate. Okay, let me not say hate, because I try to stay on the right side of politics. I'm gonna be honest. Not right, the left. But I'm saying I try to stay on the right side, like right. They're both spelled the same way too. I don't know if this is Dallas's favorite or the blue one. I genuinely cannot remember. But I hope it's not this one. Drink Gatorade because it definitely replenishes your body. It hydrates you better than water. So while yes, you need to drink water, which is a goal of mine, I need to drink more water. I also need to be drinking more Gatorade. Especially this one, even though it tastes like armpit, like ew. Income on my outfit. I don't text quick, cause I ain't thirsty. These bitches mad. They wanna hurt me. Spend this income on my outfit. I don't text quick, cause I ain't thirsty. These bitches mad. They wanna hurt me. Hey, yo, man, probably read it. These bitches mad. They wanna hurt me.
There are some moments that happen fall semester that I'm genuinely like, bro, I'm so happy that I maintained my character, because I really wanted to mop the floor with people a couple times, but you know what? We move with grace. But I just wanted that to be said, because a lot of people think because I didn't say nothing to them or do anything to them that I just didn't care. No, I cared. That definitely, I'm gonna pay you back for that one. But yeah, like, I'm sorry. Sometimes people have to know that their actions have consequences. People need to know that. Like, I'm serious.
Cause the way that ass shake while I'm watching anime. One night with him. Ick.
No music though.